Dawn breaks across the Sulawesi rainforest ecosystem. Life stirs within the heavy, dense morning mist.
A solitary figure emerges from the deep swamp mud.
This creature represents a stunning display of prehistoric mammalian biology.
His arduous daily journey begins long before the sun fully rises. Nocturnal hunters watch silently as he enters their fading domain. He is an absolute evolutionary anomaly, roaming the dense undergrowth. Survival here demands constant, relentless foraging for sparse subterranean nutrients. Every calorie counts when navigating this treacherous, unforgiving equatorial landscape. This is a sanctuary for some of the rarest endemic Indonesian wildlife. From the trees above, curious eyes track his heavy, deliberate movements. His biological clock is bound to a deeply ingrained circadian rhythm. He navigates his territory primarily through an incredibly acute sense of smell. The saturated earth pulls at his heavy limbs with every single step. But nothing deters him from his relentless march across the forest floor. This swamp perfectly showcases the unique magic of Wallace Line biodiversity.
He embraces the water, using it to cool his massive, dense body.
Hidden beneath the murky surface lie calorie-rich tubers, vital for survival. A successful extraction provides the energy needed for the miles ahead. He hauls his immense weight back onto the treacherous, slippery, dry land. In these dense shadows, danger waits with infinite, cold-blooded patience. The Babirusa upper canines offer zero protection against a giant constrictor snake. He senses the predator and wisely chooses a wide, evasive detour. One wrong step in this environment means sudden, violent, inescapable death. He successfully evades the threat of a deadly reticulated python ambush. The terrain shifts upward, presenting a grueling physical challenge for him. His dense, compact musculature is perfectly adapted for this brutal environment. Every foot of progress requires immense, calculated, exhausting physical force. The crushing rainforest canopy humidity makes even breathing a difficult task.
But the day has only just begun in this ancient valley.
Other scavengers, like the warty pig, share this highly contested territory. He brooks no competition when prime foraging grounds are at stake. Size and pure intimidation quickly secure his absolute dominance here. He investigates the soil, searching for the leftover starchy root fragments. The stolen meal provides a critical energy boost for the morning. He pushes deeper into thickets, where smaller life quietly observes him. He relies entirely on brute force to navigate this impenetrable overgrowth. Thick mud and rough bark help dislodge deeply embedded jungle parasites. Those bizarre tusks are delicate, yet utterly vital for social dominance. He moves with a singular, unbreakable focus as morning heat rises. Water sources here act as tense hubs of diverse biological activity. Wading into the tepid pool produces a wave of natural animal ASMR. This mud acts as essential armor against biting insects and heat. For a brief, fleeting moment, the immense struggle of survival pauses. But peace is always temporary. Instinct drives him relentlessly onward today. From above, a noisy Celebes-crested macaque troop carelessly drops scraps. He eagerly capitalizes on the chaotic, messy feeding habits of others. Constant vigilance is required, even when scavenging an easy, free meal. Ignoring the chaos, he remains locked onto his mysterious ultimate destination. The relentless heat of the morning pushes him deeper into darkness.
As late morning approaches, the stifling equatorial heat becomes nearly unbearable.
His thick, bristly hide easily deflects the sharpest jungle thorns. Without sweat glands, he must constantly vent excess body heat. Moisture is fleeing the topsoil, retreating deeper into the earth. He extracts whatever meager hydration these fibrous roots can offer him. The migration path intersects with a highly dangerous estuarine crocodile habitat. An apex predator rules these murky, brackish river waters absolutely. Instinct screams at him to avoid the exposed, vulnerable shoreline.
He slowly reconsiders his perilous approach to the dangerous drinking spot.
Thirst must wait. Survival always dictates a safer, hidden detour. As midday strikes, the intense heat forces a vital change. He finally surrenders to the crushing weight of the suffocating humidity. Resting now is absolutely non-negotiable for his continued physical survival. The cool earth acts as a desperately needed thermal heat sink. The jungle slows down, entering a quiet, collective midday stasis. High above, perfectly camouflaged predators also conserve their precious energy. He falls into a deep, necessary slumber amidst the stifling heat. Subconscious reflexes constantly defend against the relentless swarms of insects. Even in rest, his powerful muscles twitch with latent tension. The entire ancient ecosystem patiently waits for the sun to lower.
Rest ends abruptly as a new, overwhelming urge takes over.
His muscles reawaken, stiff from the intense morning physical labor. Lacking water here, he meticulously prepares a dry dust bath. Fine dust is an excellent abrasive for removing persistent skin parasites. The earthy coating provides immediate, immense physical relief and comfort. As hunger returns, he shares the arid foraging grounds with others. Breaking this hardened surface demands an immense output of raw power. The reward is a highly fibrous, nutrient-dense prize buried below. He eats mechanically, fueling the biological engine driving him endlessly forward. Refreshed and fed, he prepares to resume his arduous daily march. The dense thicket provides temporary sanctuary from the oppressive outside world. He carefully grooms his face, keeping his vital sensory organs clear. These fragile tusks require constant maintenance to avoid painful ingrown curves. A sudden, unseen sound interrupts his quiet moment of solitary grooming. The dense thicket hides secrets, masking both predators and unseen rivals. The slightest drop in temperature signals the jungle to awaken again. He resumes his grueling migration with renewed, singular, aggressive purpose. He quickly detects unmistakable fresh signs of other large roaming mammals. The scent instantly accelerates his drive to reach the prime feeding territory. He possesses an unyielding, unbreakable focus that ensures his daily survival. The entire forest comes alive as the brutal afternoon heat finally breaks. The cooling air provides a surge of massive, badly needed kinetic energy. Thousands of pounds of pressure compress the earth with every single stride. Rehydration is absolutely critical as the grueling daily march nears its climax. Suddenly, his entire demeanor shifts from travel to immediate, intense aggression. He has entered a highly contested zone, marked by intense physical battles. This is territorial rutting behavior, identifying a powerful, unwelcome rival male nearby. He aggressively overwrites the scent, establishing an undeniable claim to the land. The challenge is broadcasted into the dimming jungle. Violence is now inevitable. The terrain ahead narrows into a claustrophobic, deeply shadowed natural arena. Even the most venomous predators steer entirely clear of his warpath. Adrenaline now fuels his massive body, overriding all previous physical exhaustion. He prepares his incredible biological armor for an impending, brutal impact. He visually scans the dense perimeter, actively seeking out his enemy. The jungle holds its breath as he locks onto a fresh scent. The tracks reveal a massive challenger attempting to usurp this territory. Frustration and overwhelming testosterone trigger sudden, violent displays of raw power. He processes the bitter taste of adrenaline, preparing for brutal combat. The distance closes rapidly. He will not let this intruder escape.
Smaller residents flee instantly as two massive forces prepare to collide.
He reaches the prime wallowing pool, but he is not alone.
Coating himself in heavy mud increases his mass and defensive armor.
This is psychological warfare, displaying sheer size to intimidate the intruder.
Fully armored, he boldly steps forward into the contested mud arena. This massive wallow is the absolute prize of this entire territory. He paces the perimeter, demanding the unseen rival to show himself. The sharp, echoing clack of tusks serves as a final, terrifying warning. He digs in, creating maximum traction for a potentially lethal impact. Across the churned mud, the heavy underbrush finally begins to part. Twilight descends, transforming the jungle into a shadowed, high-stakes gladiatorial arena. A powerful, ambitious younger male steps forward to claim the absolute throne. Our protagonist immediately answers the threat, locking eyes with his formidable opponent. The younger male is fueled by raw ambition and relentless, driving instinct. They circle slowly, assessing weight, stamina, and the size of their weaponry. As darkness encroaches, the stakes for this prime territory reach their absolute peak. Nocturnal spectators awaken just in time to witness this brutal, ancient clash. Neither side will ever retreat without violently testing the other's resolve first. The lethal lower canines are the true, deadly weapons in this fight. The horrific impact instantly shatters the quiet peace of the twilight jungle. The sheer, terrifying violence of the clash sends a panic upward. They rise up, using their incredible mass to bludgeon their opponent downward. The bizarre upper tusks act as a protective shield against lethal gouging. Experience eventually overpowers youth. He utilizes leverage to completely dominate him. Relentless pressure ensures the defeated intruder cannot mount any successful counterattack. The jungle observes silently as the utterly defeated challenger retreats backward. Survival instinct correctly dictates a hasty, chaotic escape into the darkness. He ensures the intruder is completely driven out of the zone. The unbelievable physical toll of the violent combat is finally revealed. He alone stands victorious, the absolute, undisputed ruler of the darkness. The successful apex territory defense cements his legacy for another day. The deadly night hunters emerge, respectful of his newly cemented dominance. The prize is finally his to fully, comfortably, and peacefully enjoy. The cool, soothing mud rapidly draws the agonizing heat from his muscles. Every single agonizing step of the arduous daily migration was worth this. As night completely conquers the jungle, the nocturnal shift violently takes over. Deep mud wallowing serves as the ultimate healing balm for his wounds. He yields entirely to the darkness, secure in his undisputed survival. The ancient, endless cycle of life and death pauses for the night. Tomorrow, this brutal, incredible journey of sheer survival will simply begin again.